Doreen Granpeesheh is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen.
Somebody else wrote in, and I'm by the time this was last night, but I'm sure by this morning they've already been to the doctor. But the question is still valid. They said, hello, my 3-year-old is not feeling well at all. He has a horrible runny nose, a wet cough now for 2 days. He just looks miserable, and I haven't been able to help him. Just checked his temperature, and it says 100.6. I just can't get him to swallow any type of medicine, and it's making me so sad. He only drinks water and milk, so I've tried mixing medicine in there, but he notices and he won't take it. He doesn't eat applesauce or yogurt, so I can't mix it in there. He has an appointment tomorrow, which would be today at 9 a.m. I just wish I could get him to take medicine. How do you guys do it when your kids are sick and don't like medicine?
Yeah, this is tough. Did the parents say how old he is?
3.
3, yeah. Yeah, God, let's just start by saying that there's nothing worse than when our kids are that sick. Like, it's just awful. It's just awful. Yeah. And this is a little guy, and he's not feeling well. 100.6, I think, is what she said, is not too bad. Right. But here's the issue. Sometimes it's a lot easier to teach certain things when they're not sick, which then become useful when they are sick. So what I'm going to suggest to you, it's up to you if you want to try it now. And if he's not feeling too good right now, might not be the right time to teach. Because when we're that sick, a lot of things it's hard to learn, right? Who wants to work when they're sick? But here's how you do it. You basically have to identify, and this is the whole concept of behavior and ABA, is that you have to identify powerful reinforcers. If you don't have powerful reinforcers, you just pack it up, because there's no way you're going to teach. And powerful reinforcers can be a variety of things. So for instance, in a case where the child is sick, a reinforcer could be something cooling for his throat, like ice cream, or frozen yogurt, or a popsicle. That might be something that he wants. On the other hand, sometimes when kids have sore throats or are not feeling well, they prefer something hot, like oatmeal or soup or whatever it is. You have to identify kind of what is a powerful reinforcer. And I'm going mainly with foods right now, because when we're sick, we don't really find too many things to be rewarding. We're not interested in our books or this, that, or the other thing. But essentially, then what you do is, and this is why it's important to do this when he's not sick, because the key medications for cold, for instance, are going to be things that are pretty harmless outside of the cold. In other words, let's say you have, either ibuprofen or acetaminophen. So that's Advil or Tylenol, or Motrin or Tylenol, one of those, right? That you're going to give a 3-year-old in liquid form. And then the other thing is probably going to be something for a sore throat or a cough, like let's say Delsum or something like that, which is guanfacine. It's not a big deal. And maybe you want to also be able to teach him to blow his nose, which we talked about actually last week, and I'll talk about again. And you want to teach him to take maybe saline through his nose so you can wash out his nose. If you do those 3 things, most kids recover from a cold over that, right? So whether you're trying it when he's sick or not, it's totally fine to actually teach him to take those medications even when he's not sick, because they're not intense medications. And the way that you do this is you take, usually we use droppers with our 3-year-olds, or later on you can give him one of those little cups. But if he's not used to it, you're going to use one of those droppers, those big ones that have a funnel on the end. And you're just going to take a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of, let's say, the Motrin. And you're going to have in front of you a spoon of ice cream. And you're going to say, do you want the ice cream? Take this first. And you get him And he might not be happy about it, but you just have him try it once or twice, where you give him a tiny bit of the Motrin, and then he can have a whole bowl of ice cream. And then tomorrow you're going to do a tiny bit more of the Motrin and a bowl of ice cream. And gradually over time, you will increase, and this really just depends on him. And it's not necessarily a pleasant experience, but it is followed by a pleasant experience, which is the ice cream, right? So a lot of kids, you have to go at whatever the child's kind of tolerance level is. So you basically will give him more and more of the medication to the dosage level, up to the dosage level, followed by less and less of the ice cream, because we don't want to have to, like, every single time give our children a bowl of ice cream, right? So you just reduce it a little bit so that it's manageable. But the bottom line, this goes back again to that whole being fair thing, you can't always teach it when the child is sick, but the concept is make it fair, reduce the amount of medication that you're asking them to take, and increase the reward. That becomes a level of fair. Then over time, you can increase the medication and reduce the reward because they get used to it. And just if you think about it like life, right? We get used to doing more and more for the same amount of reward in life. So it's a general process, a gradual process, but it is super, super important to do. The blowing nose thing, I'll be very quick, is basically you just start with a tissue. You hold the tissue in front of the child's mouth and nose, and you tell them to blow. And you can model it like that. And you can use other things like a candle or one of those party favorite things initially if the child doesn't know how to blow. But you get to a point where they will blow and the tissue moves, right? And then you will get to the next stage, which is you hold their mouth and you tell them blow with your nose to make the tissue move. And then they'll go like that and the tissue will move. And now they know how to blow with their nose. And as they do that, stage 3 is you just take the tissue closer and hold it and then tell the child to blow. And that way you'll get some stuff out. Until then, I recommend, and it's not pleasant, but it is a way of, is just using either a neti pot or saline spray just to make sure that you're washing stuff out. Because a lot of times with our kids, if we don't know how to blow, they end up just getting sinus infections, which can be problematic later on.
Absolutely. Amanda's written in and said that suppositories for pain relief. Some kids you can do that, other kids you can't. And that now they have patches that are Patch MD that also have vitamins and other medicines in them. I didn't know that. And that she's also seen parents put a pill in a banana or hide it in other foods. I will tell you that for us, we sort of focused on everything outside the body. We would use medicines when we had to, but what I did was I got a really good vaporizer that has the little cup in it to put things in.
Like eucalyptus and menthol stuff.
Exactly. And I will tell you, not that I want to advertise them here, it's the only thing I've ever bought from Arbonne. They sell, it's a canister of menthol and things that you put in the little thing, and it'll loosen up anything and anybody. It's the greatest stuff ever. And believe me, it's expensive. But we also, whenever my son would get a fever, we would take the softest washcloth that we had, and not cold water and not hot water, just room temperature water, and just wipe him down. And then once you wipe them down, you wrap them up in a quilt, and it like breaks the fever. It's kind of amazing how it works, and they feel so comfortable. Like it's a little bit while you're doing it, because they'll go because it feels weird, but then the relief that they feel is amazing. We focused on all of the outside stuff, but sometimes you have to do medicine. Sometimes it's absolutely essential. So please follow anything and everything that is helpful there. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook.
You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now.
To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.